Dame Harriet Mary Walter, DBE is an English actress of stage and screen. Her film appearances include Sense and Sensibility, Villa des Roses, Atonement, and Man Up. On television, she starred in the ITV drama series Law and Order, UK. She was appointed Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire in 2011 for services to drama. Walter starred in the Royal Shakespeare Company's production of All's Well That Ends Well in 1981, and made her Broadway debut when the production transferred to New York in 1983. For her work in various RSC productions, including Twelfth Night and Three Sisters, she won the 1988 Olivier Award for Best Actress in a Revival. Other notable roles for the RSC include Lady Macbeth in Macbeth and Cleopatra in Antony and Cleopatra. She won the Evening Standard Award for Best Actress for her role as Elizabeth I in the 2005 London revival of Mary Stuart, and received a Tony Award nomination for Best Actress in a Play when she reprised the role on Broadway in 2009. Personal life: Walter is the niece of renowned British actor Sir Christopher Lee, as the daughter of his elder sister Cassandra Lee. On her father's side she is a great-great-great-granddaughter of John Walter, founder of The Times. She was educated at the Cranbourne Chase School. After turning down a university education, she was in turn rejected by 5 different drama schools before getting into the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art. Following her training, she gained early experience with the Joint Stock Theatre Company, Payne's Plough Touring, and the Duke's Playhouse, Lancaster. Her partner, until his death in 2004, was actor Peter Blythe. On May 21, 2011 she married Guy Schuessler, an American actor. Career: she has worked many times throughout her career with the Royal Shakespeare Company, in productions including Nicholas Nickleby, A Midsummer Night's Dream, as Helena in All's Well That Ends Well, The Castle, Dasher in A Question of Geography, Viola in Twelfth Night, Masha in Three Sisters, The Duchess of Malfi, Macbeth, and Much Ado About Nothing. She returns to the RSC in 2015 to play Linda Lohman in Death of a Salesman, directed by Gregory Doran. She was made an Associate Artist of the Royal Shakespeare Company in 1987. Other theatre work includes Three Birds Alighting on a Field, Arcadia, Hedda Gabler, Ivanov, and Mary Stuart. In New York, she made her Broadway debut in 1983, when the RSC production of All's Well That Ends Well transferred there. In 1993, she starred as Biddy in the off-Broadway production of Three Birds Alighting on a Field, for which she received a Drama Desk Award nomination. She returned to the Broadway stage in 2009, when she and Janet McTeer reprised their roles in Mary Stuart. In 2014, Walter starred as Brutus in an all-female production of Julius Caesar off-Broadway and received her second Drama Desk nomination. Her films include Sense and Sensibility, Bedrooms and Hallways, Onegin, Villa des Roses, and Bright Young Things. On television, she starred as Detective Inspector Natalie Chandler from 2009 Euro 12 in the ITV drama series Law and Order, UK. Other TV roles include Mrs. Gowan in the 2008 BBC adaptation of Little Dorrit, and Lady Shackleton in 3 episodes of Downton Abbey. In 1987, she portrayed Lord Peter Wimsey's love interest Harriet Vane for 3 installments of the BBC's A. Dorothy L. Sayers mystery series. She is also a patron of several notable charities. The Shakespeare Schools Festival, a charity that enables schoolchildren across the UK to perform Shakespeare in professional theatres; Prisoners Abroad, a charity that supports the welfare of Britons imprisoned overseas and their families; and Clean Break, a charity and theatre company dedicated to sharing the often hidden stories of imprisoned women, and to transforming the lives of women offenders; and a Euro through theatre education, a Euro of women at risk of offending. Honours: she was appointed Commander of the Order of the British Empire in the 2000 New Year Honours and Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire in the 2011 New Year Honours for services to drama. In 2001 she and Kenneth Branagh were both given honorary doctorates and honorary fellowships at the Shakespeare Institute in Stratford. Her performance in Mary Stuart at the Donmar Warehouse transferred to Broadway, where it was nominated for numerous Tony Awards, including Best Actress nods for her and her co-star Janet McTeer. Stage a Euro notable performances: 1981/2, Royal Shakespeare Company, Helena in All's Well That Ends Well, 1987/8, Royal Shakespeare Company, Imogen and Cymbeline, 1987/8, Royal Shakespeare Company, Viola in Twelfth Night, 1987/8, Royal Shakespeare Company, Dacia in A Question of Geography, 1988, Royal Shakespeare Company, Masha and Chekhov's Three Sisters, 1989/90, Royal Shakespeare Company, Duchess in John Webster's The Duchess of Malfi, 1991, Royal Court Theatre, and Broadway transfer, Biddy and Timberlake Wertenbaker's Three Birds Alighting on a Field, 1993, Royal National Theatre, Lady Crumb in Arcadia by Tom Stoppard, 1999 Royal Shakespeare Company, Lady Macbeth and Macbeth, 2002 Royal National Theatre Page and Dinner by Moira Buffney, co-starring Nicholas Farrell and Catherine McCormack. 2005, Donmar Warehouse and West End, Mary Stuart by Schiller, 2006, Royal Shakespeare Company, Antony and Cleopatra, 2009, Mary Stuart, Broadway transfer, 2010, Royal National Theatre, Women Beware Women, 2012/13 Donmar Warehouse, Brutus and Julius Caesar, 2014, Donmar Warehouse, King Henry IV and Henry IV. 2015, Royal Shakespeare Company and the Noel Coward Theatre, Linda Lohman in Death of a Salesman. Television. Documentary George Eliot, A Scandalous Life Mary Ann Evans George Eliot, London Virginia Woolf. Drama Rebecca Clarice, Play for Today, The Imitation Game Kathy Rain, Amy Amy Johnson, The Price Francis Carr, Strong Poison Harriet Vane, Havis Carcass Harriet Vane, Gaudy Night Harriet Vane, La Nuit Miraclus, Orsendon Julia Lazari, The Men's Room Charity Walton, Bye Bye Columbus Queen Isabella, The Hour of the Pig Jeanne Martin, Inspector Morse The Day of the Devil Dr. Esther Martin The Maitlands Mrs. Dorothy Maitland Hard Times Rachel, A Dance to the Music of Time, Segment 2 Mildred Blades, Norman Ormel, A Very Political Turtle Felicity Ormel, Unfinished Business Amy, The Magical Legend of the Leprechauns Queen Morag, Dalziel and Pascoe Time to Go Mary Waddle, Black Cab Busybody Jane, Waking the Dead A Simple Sacrifice Annie Keel, My Uncle Silas 2 Pamela Farrell, Spooks also known as MI5 Who Guards the Guards? Deep Throat, Messiah, The Harrowing Professor Rob New Tricks Episode 2.3 Maidline, Midsummer Murders Orcus Fatalis Margaret Winstanley, Ballet Shoes Dr. Smithcat Among the Pigeons Honoria Bulstrode, Little Dorrit Mrs. Gowan The Palace Joanna Woodward, Law and Order, UK Detective Inspector Natalie Chandler, Midsummer Murders, Death and the Divas, Diana Davenport, Downton Abbey, Lady Shackleton, By Any Means, Law and Order, UK Detective Inspector Natalie Chandler, London Spy. Film, Reflections Ottilie Geringer, The Good Father Emmy Hooper, Turtle Diary Harriet Sims, Marla N. My Lily, They Never Slept Amelia Cleverly, A Man You Don't Meet Every Day Charlotte, Sense and Sensibility Fanny Dashwood, The Leading Man Liz Flett, Keep the Aspidistra Flying Julia Comstock, Bedrooms and Hallways Sybil, The Governess Mrs. Cavendish Onesian MME. Lorena, Villa des Roses Olive, Bright Young Things Lady Mitroland, Chromophobia Penelope Aylesbury, Babel Lily, Atonement Emily Torlis, Tree La Lupiat, The Young Victoria Queen Adelaide, Morris, A Life with Bells on Professor Compton Chamberlain, From Time to Time, Lady Gresham, A Royal Affair Augusta, Princess of Wales, The Wedding Video, Alex, Man Up, The Sense of an Ending. Radio, Jeremy Hardy Speaks to the Nation, Scenes of Seduction, radio play written by Timberlake Wertenbaker and directed by Ned Chailett, broadcast on BBC Radio 4 March 7, 2005 Catherine. Desmond Olivier Dingle, broadcast on BBC 7 on February 28, 2007, episode 2 of 6, duration 30 minutes, The Arts and How They Was Done, broadcast on BBC Radio 4 between April 4 and May 9, 2007, episodes 1 and 6 out of 6, duration 30 minutes is, I, Claudius, broadcast on BBC Radio December 4, 2010 Olivia, wife of Augustus. Guest in Desert Island Discs on BBC Radio 4 on June 26, 2011. Time and the Conways as Mrs. Conway in BBC Radio 3's adaptation of J.B. Priestley's play, broadcast on September 14, 2014. Books, Clamorous Voices, Shakespeare's Women Today. Women's Press, ISBN 070434145X, Players of Shakespeare 3. Cambridge University Press, ISBN 9780521477345. Macbeth. Faber and Faber, London. ISBN 0-571-21407X, Other People's Shoes. Nickhern Books, London. ISBN 1-85459-751-5. Autobiography. Facing It, Reflections on Images of Older Women. Self-published, London. ISBN 978-0-9566497-1-3. References. External links, Harriet Walter at the Internet Movie Database, company members, Harriet Walter at the Royal National Theatre, official website, fashionjitepublications.co.uk.